Hello cookbook friends and welcome. Today we're going to look at Simply Hot Pots. This is by Amy Kimoto-Kahn. I love hot pot. It is one of my favorite things to do. I wish we had more around here, but it's actually not too hard to do yourself. I finally did my own last year and I'm excited to try more. So here we have different hot pots, and we even have in the back, we have desserts and some sides. So if somebody in your family group or in your friend group is like, I don't really want hot pot, you can also make a side too, and it'll be really fun to just have. But here we have vegetables, spicy, seafood, beef, chicken, pork. We get our bases and all of our fundamentals towards the front. Different flavor profiles, but this is mostly a Japanese hot pot, so you'll find more of that. Here we have a basic dashi recipe. So just to break this cookbook down a little bit, we have a photo, but here we have what skill level this is: prep time, cook time. We have our measurements, which is in, it looks like both metric and US. Here we have just kind of like what this recipe is, where it comes from, ways to utilize it, page numbers, different kinds of stuff in here. And then of course we have our instructions at the very bottom. So let's look at some more. We have a basic chicken bone broth. So you can use all kinds of stuff. For those that might be like vegetarian, vegan, there's a sesame miso broth. Maybe you can find some fermented things. We have Japanese curry broth. That looks awesome. Let's move on to some of the, Thai coconut curry broth. So we have also different variations of the broth. Mongolian broth. This is the one I need to make, so I'm so excited to try this. Okay, let's go on to some like the big broths. We even have different sauces too. So sometimes you'll cook your meat in the hot pot and then you'll dip it in a sauce. So good. Or vegetables even. So let's start with pork hot pots. I love that we get maybe even some like dumplings. This is a Kuroba Pork Nabe foil. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I totally messed it up. So you can see everything is kind of stuffed together. It's cabbage, pork, all kind of like layered. And this is the one that I've made. It's very good, although I think we used beef. Here we have a pork wonton with mayonnaise broth hot pot. Look at that. So there's all kinds of ways and ingredients, things you can add, things you can take away. You don't necessarily have to have all of these. These are just recommendations and they're very good. Here we have a Thai chicken coconut curry hot pot. Yum. That looks so good. It's basically like if you just did more of a liquidier, I'm making words up now, curry, but you get to share it with each other. Here we have a beef hot pot chapter. This is Kobe Wagyu beef sukiyaki. This looks delightful. Yum. Are these mushrooms? They have to be. We have a short rib sesame miso nabe. This looks tasty too. All of these look perfect for any time of year. Hot pot's just a really fun, like I said, activity. So people usually, you want to be careful with hot pots. So like if you want to tell people like we have a vegetarian hot pot, so that nobody is like, well, I'm going to bring meat or something to put into the broth, because of course then it makes it meaty. Or if you have wontons, if somebody has celiac, you don't want to, contaminate. So you want to make sure you have everything laid out, ready to go, but people can kind of pick and choose what things they want to eat or things that don't really necessarily bother them that might be inside the hot pot. This is definitely a shareable thing. Tuna belly with dashi nabe. There's even, I just noticed this because I keep talking so much, we have hot tips kind of throughout the book, which is cool. So this one says, refrigerate the tuna up to 4 hours ahead of time so it's firm and easier to slice. So it keeps going and talks about more things you can do. I like these different tips. We actually have them everywhere. I know that I've made some hot pot before, but it'd be nice, like especially if it's a really elaborate one, to learn how to cook ahead of time. Maybe there's a way to do it, or if there's a way to preserve some of the hot pot too, so you're not losing all of the stuff that you bought. So that's kind of the other thing. Here we have crab legs with spicy tonkatsu in a pork bone broth. That looks elegant. That's a showstopper. Imagine serving that to somebody. Green vegetable nabe. This looks beautiful. I prefer cooked vegetables over raw, so I kind of love the idea of having a vegetable-oriented hot pot. That would be really yummy. We have I've never heard of this, yasai nabe with Tanu vegetables with soy milk broth. Never seen this before. Looks pretty. I love this. I think it's a purple kale. Maybe it's not. It looks beautiful. We have here, let's move on, the Mongolian Lamb hot pot. This is one I really want to make because the place that's close by to us is kind of like, it's a little iffy on service. Here we have side dishes. So more than just the hot pots, there is some cool stuff you can have on the side. Like this is actually one of my favorite things, a compressed spinach salad with sesame sauce. It's really, really good. Super easy to make. Here's a hot tip too. If you use a coffee grinder, be careful not to over process the seeds. So I do actually have a coffee grinder specific for spices and stuff like this. It's very helpful. Just get a cheap one. Here we have a shoyu koji pickled vegetable. Yum. Vibrant, fun, perfect for summer. Mom's pork wontons. Delightful. And then let's do one more of these. We have the Korean scallion pancakes. Next, though, desserts. We have the coconut matcha custard with berries. I'm all over this. That looks wonderful. And then I swear I'll show at least one more. So we have a strawberry rose mochi. Yummy. So I highly recommend checking this one out. Simply Hot Pots, especially if I know somebody on YouTube was mentioning that they got like a hot pot and a stovetop heater, oven, what do you call it? Oh my gosh. Anyway, for Christmas, and having a hot pot cookbook would be really nice. And I agree. There's so many different ways of utilizing hot pots. It is kind of soup season still right now. We're still there. It's still cold, but you can have hot pot all year round. It's really tasty. Check out Simply Hot Pots. This is a great cookbook. If you are looking for some other cookbooks, maybe Asian cookbooks, soup cookbooks, we have a ton. Just check out our playlist. And join us on our socials on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook at Cookbook Divas, and our Amazon Live channel. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.